1, 2, 3. I only had to wait 3 seconds. That long. 3 seconds and I wouldn't have failed. 3 seconds and I wouldn't have wasted $35. 3 seconds and I wouldn't have to do it all over again. But I didn't wait those 3 seconds, and so I did have to do it all over again. On December 1st, 2021, I took my second driver's test. It had only been 2 months from September 30th, my first driver's test. But I knew that I was ready. After my first test, I'd spent 3, 4, even 5 days preparing and practicing to get it right and pushing myself to make sure it was right. And I knew I was ready. I knew I was going to pass, and I knew my worth and that I was confident about it. And the day before, November 31st, my friends and I were in class, and I thought it would be fun to search up the website of the place that I was going to take my test at. I don't know what I expected to come from it, but it definitely wasn't what I thought it was. I clicked on the website, and up came reviews. I clicked on reviews and I scrolled and I quickly skimmed through, and despite how fast I was skimming through, there was still something I couldn't have missed. There was one thing, one word, one name that constantly kept showing up on my screen. 5 letters, 2 syllables. Oscar. I read, Oscar is the worst examiner anyone could ever have. Oscar said rude comments throughout my whole test. Oscar is the reason that I failed. I laughed. My friend laughed. Tanya laughed. And as a joke, I said, imagine I get Oscar. Then comes the next day, test day. I woke up bright and early at 6:30 a.m. I did my hair. I did my makeup because I knew I would pass. And I knew that I would be able to take that black and white photo and get that green license. I was so confident. Then my dad and I drove 20 minutes, and 8:30 a.m. I get to the ICBC Claim Center. I was confident and ready walking in. I finished my paperwork like it was no big deal. And then I sat in my car and waited for an examiner, the person who would determine whether I would pass or fail this test. So I waited until a knock on my window. A man was knocking on my window and doing a gesture like this to tell me to roll down my window. And I remember as I pushed that button down, I was so excited because this was the start of the test that I knew I was going to pass. I rolled down my window. I smiled at the man until he said a word that I didn't know I would dread until that moment.
Oscar?
He then looked at me and he introduced himself with 5 letters and 2 syllables. Oscar. Oscar was going to be my examiner for the day. Yes. I literally felt my heart drop as if I'd thrown it down a 10-story hotel. And 2 minutes into that test, while my signal wasn't quite working how I wanted it to be, Oscar blurts out, "Do you even know how to drive?" I felt my confidence go down little by little as he sat in the car. So now what happened to that girl that was so confident and ready? I wasn't so confident anymore. Then we started driving around, and with every turn, every stop, every press of the gas, I felt more and more insecure about my own driving. And then 30 minutes later, we finally get back to the place where we had started, and where, with a face as straight as a ruler, Oscar says, "Yeah, congratulations, you passed." You would think that I would be so happy and ecstatic, but I wasn't. I remember saying thank you, getting out of the car and grabbing my exam paper and looking at it. I wasn't as proud as I thought I would be. In that moment of me holding my exam paper, I realized something about myself that I haven't before. I realized that I have countlessly allowed people and their opinions to measure and determine how much confidence I have in myself. I realized that in my life, there were so many things that were ruined just because of little comments. And it started with Oscar's little comment. And then I looked deeper into my life. Grade 7, there were these pair of boots that my brothers bought me. They were so cheap, not cheap, but they were so comfy, so cute, and not cheap. I wore them every single day until one day someone told me that I looked like an old man wearing those boots. I never wore them again. In fact, I even sold them last year because I never worked up the courage to wear them again. The little comments. In grade 10, there were these pair of wide leg jeans that I really wanted, and they had finally gone on sale, so my dad and I ran to the store and bought them. I remember planning outfits together because I was so excited to have my first pair of big girl jeans. I went to school the next day all proud in my jeans, and then as a joke, one of the guys in my friend group said, "What are you wearing?" Like what? Are you going to the farm later? See, it was just a joke, but I never got to wear those outfits that I had planned with those jeans.
Yeah.
The little comments.
Yeah.
Lastly, grade 12, my friends and I were all hanging out after school and we were having a good conversation. We were talking about life, the future. It was good. Until in the midst of that conversation, someone told me, "Steph, you literally talk so much. You are too loud." And then we all laughed because apparently things like that shouldn't be taken seriously. But I guess their wish was granted. Because after that, I started cutting myself off. I stopped saying what I wanted to say. I started being quiet. I started losing confidence in myself, all because of a little comment. And I know all of us here, as confident as we may seem or say that we are, we're all still human. And as human as we are, we do get hurt by what other people have to say.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But it is not okay when we allow those little things to determine how much confidence we have in ourselves. In your life, someone has probably said something to you, to your face, behind your back. And yes, we can accept it. Yes, we can hear them out, but we cannot let it overrule what we think about ourselves. Because if you think about it, the more that we listen to what people think we should be, the more we can slowly and slowly lose who we are. And that's what happened to me. I let go of the things that I loved. I let go of my confidence. And I let go of being myself, all because of little comments. And through all these realizations, I share with you the one thing that I've learned, is that there is no room in our lives for people's negative opinions about us to change who we are, who we all know we are. Mm-hmm. No one has the power to redefine that. And in my life, I realized that I've been living my life so much trying to please others and trying to fit into this mold that they made for me. No. I know that I shouldn't live like that and that we shouldn't live like that. And so today I leave you with this one thing, that what others have to say to you and say about you should not have the power to change who you are, because you are you. You are someone that is unique, and you are someone that cannot be replaced, and you are the only you that there is out there. And in the same way, I am the only me that there is out there. And so I say together, and we can all hopefully say together, that we will never, never, never let what other people have to say change who we are, because our lives are too precious to be changed because of a little comment. Thank you.